Modi ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to the practice run, your frontline pass to the hardest sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your hosts, Rawiri, Tukoerangi, and Sam Tirangi, we're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win. Experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The practice squad, where every listener is MVP. Powering play.
Powering our play every episode, every day. Thanks to our sponsors, 99 Dreams, for powering our passion. If you head over to 99dreams.co.nz, you can catch, well, probably not this one. This is actually just a limited edition, mine. Because check that out on the back. It's got my name on the back. 99s. It's clean, ladies and gentlemen. But you can cop these hats. You can cop the white version of this baseball jersey. It won't have my last name on the back, although that'll be crack up. I could sign it for you and send it out. We have a couple of 99 Dreams hoodies left. So go and check out our website, 99dreams.co.nz. But let's check out today's lineup. Today we've got MyGM mode coming in hot off the presses. Thank God y'all don't have me doing the Warriors. My cousin was gracious enough to do this for us. He's a proper Warriors fan. You know, he's been frustrated with this season. He's not one of those ones like myself that hopped on the bandwagon and got off at about round 17. But hey, at least I'm honest with you guys. You know, at least I'm honest. I was riding high on the train early this season, and then look, we run out of gas, and you fellas had to push it up the hill. So we're rebuilding the Wars this week, and then we'll be diving into our round 24 recap, followed up with our weekly power rankings and team of the week. But before we get into any of that, brother, welcome back, Sam. Good to have you here. Look, the reason, because I seen you laugh in the intro, the reason your full name is because your name is one syllable. Rawiri, Tukoerangi, Sam. Needed to be Sam Tirangi.
Hey, all I know is I just can't have two doing it. Because I know at some point it's going to be Teraki and I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it when he's like, and Sam, Teraki. Nah.
Lucky for you, brother. I always do that first part.
Oh my God.
And then that second part comes in, that's two's bit. And then that third part where, you know, 2 and I normally share it, that's going to be your lines where, you know, a little bit of work needs to be done there, brother, but we'll get you there. We'll get you there. We'll get you over the line. Look, man, we missed this on Wednesday. We got too into the flow. We forgot paper, scissors, rock. So, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone new to the show, this is something that we always do here. We don't keep track of the winners or the losers. We just know that it's just it's just going to run on to the end of time. It's paper, scissors, rock, and it just runs as every paper, scissors, rock goes. Paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, right? But here's the thing. So I was watching Flula Bork on TikTok the other day. Yeah. He's a German comedian. He says, I understand scissors to beat paper because scissors can cut. He goes, I understand rock to beat the scissors because, you know, rock jam the scissors and blunt up the scissors, can't cut. But a paper that covers a rock, I can still throw it through your window. I can still throw it at your head and it will still hurt.
I mean, true. Very true.
So why does a paper go and beat a rock?
I couldn't tell you.
So his alternative is dynamite, rock, scissors, right? Dynamite blows up rock. Rock blunts a scissor. Scissor cuts the dynamite string.
right, yeah. I'm with you.
That's just that, but we'll just do regular paper, scissors, rock. But you know what I mean? That's just some food for thought, Itiwi. Who come up with this game? Why? Like, if someone back at primary school, like if I had this level of wokeness, we'll call it. If a kid tried to like beat me with a rock and they had a paper, I will wrap a paper around a rock and bash them with it.
I'll tell them hold that paper in front of them. See what happens.
Hey, wrap my rock, motherfucker. Wrap it up. So, anyway, we go 1, 2, 3. We'll shoot off camera. Fun fact: the reason we started this game was because 2 had hella lag, and we used it to gauge how delayed he was in pulling up his. Yeah, so that's where this game originated from, was lag,
Right.
and then we just kept it.
Hey, I mean, fair enough. It works. So.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh,
and up. Ah, yes.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm 0 for 2 on the paper. I've got to change it up. I've got to change it up.
I love it. I hope 2's back on Wednesday, so then like the pressure's off me. I don't want to be the first to lose here. It's all on him. You know, I've gained a little bit more credibility after losing to our first guest that came on the show. So, you know, I'm now 2-1. But technically you're a host now, so it is what it is. But how's your weekend, brother? What did you get up to? We always have a bit of a quick catch up, just so the peeps can hear more about what we get up to in our personal times.
Yeah, no, all good. Just kind of like ran a trial for uni games.
Any hidden talent?
No, we had 4 guys show up for trials, but not surprising. I did say to the organisers, like, you know, the final is on Saturday. Probably not a good idea to run the trial Friday night. So yeah, and then like a few of our guys, like they coach high school basketball down here, so they had basketball Friday night anyway. So you know, yeah, it wasn't the best idea. Wasn't the best time to have a trial. And then Saturday, chilled. I was like, this is weird having a Saturday off. It's my first Saturday off in probably 4 or 5 months.
Damn.
Yeah, you know. It was weird. So I just kind of like chilled, did a bit of cleaning, did a bit of stuff that I do, and then watched a bit of league. Yesterday. Just had to make a few calls, and we ended up actually cancelling the uni games team, so we're not sending away a team anymore.
Oh shit! Happy about that, or what's the feel?
A little disappointed because I felt like it would have been a really fun tournament to go away and play in, but we also had to look at the fact that our squad was not looking all too competitive. So there was going to be a chance where we were going to show up there with no NBL players, and there was going to be a very good chance that a lot of teams were going to have 4, 5, 6, 7 NBL players.
Oh shit!
So yeah, we kind of made the call. We were like, we're just not going to send away a team because, like, the experience is cool and all that, but going out there and playing 3 or 4 games and you're losing by 50, 60, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
How about yourself?
Well, yeah, it was. Well, I did actually. To be honest, the weather was miserable up here, so I didn't really do much of anything. I had no idea the Hamilton Darts was on, the Darts Masters in Hamilton, so I would have actually liked to have shot up to that. Maybe one year I'd like to get away, go to watch that, because if you're a regular listener of the show, you do know that tonight, actually, I have darts on tonight, where I go down and play in our comp. Our team is currently second equal, and we're like a team of beginners, kind of. So we're doing pretty well this season. So I was watching that all weekend, and I'm a big Luke Humphreys fan. I've got almost the exact replica of the dart he uses on stage. I just have a slightly different point to the one that he uses in different flights. But yeah, I got the long shaft with the same barrel, the same weight. just need to dial in that consistency, brother. Need to dial in that consistency. So I just stayed home, watched darts all weekend, and watched the footy. Nice chill. Oh man, I made these tacos too. I'm getting good at making these tacos, bro. It's just like Tio Mia mix, and they got these Tio Mia tortillas. They're corn tortillas, not flour tortillas. So they slap, brother. And I was making chicken tacos, put the marinade in with some garlic, a little bit of diced onion, and squeezed some limes in there. Let that marinate for a few hours, and then we fried that up. Put in the taco sauce. We put on the lettuce, the tomato salsa, some sour cream, the meat, and my tapatio hot sauce. But I eat that like tomato sauce, brother. I tell you, I eat that on every boil up tapatio. Straight up, brother.
Hot
Boil
sauce
up.
on boil up. Oh,
Big changes, especially brisket boil up. Boom. Try it, Fano. Cream power, tapatio. It might sound crazy. It might sound sacrilegious to some. But until you tried it, Tiwi. Until you try it.
Hot sauce on boil up is... It's spinning me. It's spinning me, although I can't say much because I used to be, as I feel like most kids are, that tea sauce on boil up goes hard.
Gee, it does. And like hot sauce just adds a different element to the already like. How do you even describe a boil up to our international listeners? Like all it is, in all honesty, it's like a meaty soup, really, that we don't blend, that we don't do nothing to it. Like it should be a soup. We throw in potatoes, we throw in watercress or a cabbage or a silver beet or a puha or a whatever you've got, really. Whatever you've got. And you can throw in some kumara, which is like a, what do you call it? A sweet potato. Throw in some pumpkin in there. We call these doughboys, but you fellas, I think around the world call them like dumplings, like a doughy dumpling, not like a dim sum kind of dumpling, not like a a pork and fennel dumpling. Like it's just a ball of dough, like uncooked bread. You put
It's a great ball of dough, is what it is.
It's heavenly. That's what it is. Like this is like New Zealand version of soul food, man. This is a struggle meal. All right, you've got 13 kids to feed. This is back before TVs, 13 kids to feed. You make a boil up. You just put whatever you've got. The puha, the watercress, the cabbage, the kamo, the potatoes. Then you got like just a dough, and you're just slicing that dough up to make some extra, like, all it is just to help make you feel more full. That's what the doughboy is there for. However, it's the star of the dish. If you don't got a doughboy in your boil up, I don't want it. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it.
Bro, nothing used to throw me more than growing up. We always had doughboys. And then, just out of nowhere, Mum stopped putting doughboys in the boil up. I was like the first one, okay, it's all good. Silver beet potatoes, I could take or leave the meat. Run me those two and I'm good. And then, more and more, there were no doughboys again and again. Hey, what are we doing here? I need some answers here. What are we doing? Why no doughboys? And she was like, yeah, doughboys are more like to make it go further. And I was like, well, I need it to not go further and have doughboys.
Yeah.
And she was like, trust me, you'll learn to like it without doughboys. And I was like, I like it without doughboys, but I like it way better with them.
Facts, bro.
Doughboys are actually the star.
They are the star of the dish, and like for international listeners, right? I'm getting hungry for a boil up now. But for our international listeners, you think a meal is best served on day one? Like you don't want to have leftovers. However, boil up on day two, ladies and gentlemen. Boil up on day two. Like, don't give me nachos on day two. I want nachos. I don't want day two nachos. Hell, I don't even want day two pizza. Okay? I know that's controversial, but I don't want day two pizza. But you give me a bowl of boil up Is this day 2? Oh, cuzzy. The best feed to come into. Been drinking all day. Pot's just there. It's still hot because they're big, right? You don't put it in like a little... How do you... Like, like a regular teapot kind of peas and beans sort of pot. You put this in a marae pot, brother. Like a big...
I made one. I've got like a... I think it's like a 10 or 12 litre pot.
That's the one.
Well, because my whole thing was... because recently our landlord changed the element we have. So my other pot didn't actually work on it anymore, so I had to go get one for an induction. So I had to go get one that works on induction. And I was like looking at all the pots, and I was like, I mean, I could make a boil up in it. And then I saw this 12-litre pot, and I was like, well, I know I can make a boil up in it, and I know I can make a boil up for multiple days in that. Literally, the only reason I got it. And now every time I make something else in the day, I'm like, brother, this pot's too big. This pot's too big to make anything else in.
Gee, it's a weird thing, eh? Like when it comes to making a boil up, we never really make it for one serving.
Nah.
Like when you make a boil up, it's what are you up to come over for feed? Yeah. It's a festival. It's like a fiesta.
It's more a shared meal, really. Like you want to have it with friends. You want to have it with family. Depending on the friends, I cooked one in my second year of flatting. Safe to say that was the first time I'd cooked a boil up by myself. Let's just say a lot of water. A lot of water was put into it, and my flatmates were being kind. But I knew it the moment I tasted it. I was like, that's not good. And then I see my flatmates just tea sauce all over it.
Hey, grateful, brother, grateful.
And they were like, "Nah, this is good." And I'm like, "Yeah, pass me the tea sauce too. I haven't done this in like 6 years, but give me it."
Now, what threw me one time down there, I'm not gonna name the bro, but one of the bros, they chucked in some mixed herbs, G. They're like, "Oh, it needs seasoning." I'm like, "My cuz, it's seasoned." What are you doing? What?
Mixed
to this
herbs.
Day, I still don't know what he's doing. Mixed herbs. The mixed herb doesn't sit well with like the spinach, the cabbage, the watercress, whatever the green is that you're using. It's not same as here.
Mixed herb is outrageous.
Yeah,
but I could see how people would be like, this might be a little bit plain until you taste it. Until you taste it, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, like if you
Okay,
don't
I
trust
see what
the
you
process,
guys are on about.
Yeah, you got to trust the process. If you don't trust the process, then you're never going to get involved in what it is that we're trying to share with you. You're trying to preach your seasoned herbs and spices. I raise you, shut the fuck up. And salt and pepper. That's all you need.
Salt and pepper. That sounds so wild when I think about how I cook. Just salt and pepper, but then I'm like, well, I know. I know with this particular dish, salt and pepper.
Yeah, with a boil up, salt and pepper. Anything else that you cook, man, get the seasonings in there, man. Some paprika, some cumin, some bay leaf, some basil, whatever the hell you use. But when it comes to a boil up, okay, when you think about cuisine in the 1800s, wintertime, boil up. That's it. No salt, no pepper. Back then, they would have just on the pot, in the stove, whatever, on the fire pit. Grateful. Here we are putting mixed herbs in it. Tupuna would be rolling in their graves.
Mixed herbs.
That's more offensive than what this new government's trying to propose. Moving right along, shall we? It's a perfect way to segue into our next segment with the New Zealand Warriors. MyGM Rebuild. Here at the practice run, because Sam noticeably pointed out last week that we don't really advertise the name of the podcast that often. So here at the practice run, we're trying to, build some fun games with you guys, have some fun content that shapes away from the general business of the NRL and the day-to-day goings of that side of things. We've kind of given it more of a video game element, a la like silly season, kind of just open trades. We've got contract talks and all that kind of stuff. So my cousin, I reached out and said, yo, my cuz, can you rebuild the Warriors for me? He's like, yeah, sweet as. Can you just give us a list of, the teams that you've already done, who's been moved? And I was like, yeah, sweet as. Gave him the parameters of trades and how that needs to come off. And to be fair, a lot of his trades are fairly reasonable considering some of the trades that we've already put forth. So I don't quite know the whakamarama of this team, how he's built it, what vision he has in mind. But look, I'll read his trades first, and then I'll go through his team 1 through 18, and then I guess Sam and I will talk about this team. And I guess at the end of this, I think we might rank them all, 1 through to 17, the best team that we like at the top in terms of balance, and then the worst team at the bottom. We'll call them the rebuild.
We'll call them the Bulldogs. That's what we will call them.
Hey, you hear that too?
Yeah, say something.
To be honest, it'd probably be the Broncos in all honesty. I think I definitely messed up the way I built it in the beginning because I didn't have the vision that I had when I took on the Knights. And then I think from there we've all kind of spun it into a where it is at the moment. And, it's fun, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be fun. We have laughs with this. This isn't serious, like it's fantasy. None of this is trade rumors. None of this is someone wanting out of their current contract. This is just us all having fun, just being idiots, putting together, stuff that we sit around the table doing every time we all link up. So we're just putting it out there in this forum. Now let me start with your Aotearoa Warriors, aka the Wars. The first trade we've got is Charles Nickel-Klokstad and Te Maire Martin heading to the Melbourne Storm and bringing home Jerome Hughes to play for his home country, his home team. Bringing that Māoriness that he's got back to Aotearoa, back to New Zealand Rugby League to help sort of bounce back that momentum that they lost a little bit this year. I mean, they didn't lose too much momentum this season, the Warriors, in terms of popularity, but it's not as big as it was last year. So hopefully, bringing in Jerome Hughes will help boost that team's popularity. The second trade, we talked about it last week. We have Jackson Ford, Kurt Capel, and Freddie Lussick beating out the Tigers trade to land Connor Watson to the Warriors. The third trade, is sending one of my favourite Warriors, only because he's in my fantasy team, Marata Niukore to the Sharks for Britain Nikora. And to be honest, why not? Everyone else has just taken everything from the Sharks, so might as well. I feel like that's the team we're all parting out. Like the Sharks have been the spare parts for everyone, to be honest. But like in our defense, we haven't touched like their main man, just his supporting cast.
I did think about Nikora for the Tigers, given his contract being up next season. But hey, I like that move. Get a lot more Kiwi players back to NZ.
Yeah, and it strengthens their ties to New Zealand Rugby League, but also gives them a chance to showcase what the Warriors can really do. They've got a great coach. We need just some great players, some younger players that can stay healthy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a massive staying healthy.
Yeah. That player, Matt Croker, that we both discovered last week through highlights. Shout out to the New Zealand Warriors page. Matt Croker, he's offered him a $400,000 contract, which, to be fair, yeah, if I see him floating around for 230, I would have paid more. I would have.
Yeah.
I think I would have maxed out at 350 though. So 400 is probably. I don't think he's going anywhere from the Warriors.
Nah.
And the final signing is the return of Ngani Lomape, carrying on that trend of signing rugby players to the NRL. And so his 1 through 18 looks like this. With Chance now at the Storm, opens up that fullback spot for Tane Tuopiki. Controversial, but I like it. I like what he brings to the team, and I like, just give him the reins at fullback. On the wings, he's gone with Dylan Watene-Zelezniak and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I agree with that too, because I've been saying put Roger on the wing. The centre position for Roger just hasn't worked with this team. And so, you know what, moving back to the position he started out at the Roosters is put him back on the wing. The centres, he's got Ngani Lumape and Ali Leotoa. That's how you say his name, Toa. Yeah, so we've got Ali Leotoa, Rocco Berry on the bench. The 6 is Luke Metcalf. 7, arriving from the Storm, Jerome Hughes. Coming over from the Panthers at prop, we've got James Fisher-Harris. That deal was signed earlier in the season, so no trades were needed for that. Lucky them. Far out. But they do lose Adam Fanua-Blake. Mitch Barnett is the other prop. Wade Egan is still the hooker. Nikora comes in at that second row position alongside the young Jacob Laban. Connor Watson starting in at 13. Then off the bench, they've got Dylan Walker, Zion Maiu, Tohu Harris, Matt Croker, Rocco Berry, and Paulie Roach. What are your first initial thoughts on this lineup?
I'm not surprised. Like a lot of Warriors fans that I know, they really like what Tane brings.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a surprise to see him at the fullback spot. I probably would still prefer Roger there.
Yeah, I agree.
But
you save losing Tane to another team by having him in the lineup.
That's it. I don't know. It's the thing I always struggle with small fullbacks. But yeah, no, like keeping Roger, putting him on the wing, which means who's the other winger?
Dallin.
No, sorry. Like their current winger?
Oh, it's Marcelo.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah.
I'd probably keep Rocco in the centres for now, but I mean, yeah, I could see like Nani and Rocco Berry would be pretty good, I think. Especially like next season. I feel like Rocco Berry was pretty good this season.
Yeah, he's been injured a lot though, I think, as well towards the end there.
But other than that, hey, Metcalf and Hughes.
That'd be exciting, eh? That'd be exciting because they both like to run the ball a bit.
Metcalf and Hughes, hey, some were saying. Tigers house pairing once upon a time. We were praying. We were praying for it. But other than then, like, a really solid forward pack. Fisher-Harris coming back, I feel like, will be massive for them, especially with Adam moving on.
Yeah.
Then,
that fills that gap right away.
Yeah. And then keeping Barnett. I should have traded for him. I should have traded for him.
I think it's a well-rounded lineup too of like New Zealand players and international players.
Yeah.
Like you've got to have international players, but you've also got to have, home players that can really like reach out to the young ones coming through. Because like this is what I'm thinking outside of league, by bringing all these star players back and having them out in the community doing those outreach programs with the Warriors and stuff like that. Yes, Australian players can relate to an extent, but no one can relate like Kiwi players can to our own.
Yeah.
Especially like our Polynesian and our Māori boys. They know firsthand what it's like growing up in some of these neighborhoods and some of these households. So no one better than them. And for a lot of these ones, who have been at the highest of the highs, the Fisher Harrises, the Hughes, Connor Watson to an extent, having those guys come in and offer that leadership, but also offer that insight that, making the league isn't impossible. You've just got to really work hard and know what you want to do to achieve. So,
Yeah.
in my eyes, I think this would benefit not just the sponsors of that team, but really benefit the Wires community.
Yeah, no, it's massive, and they've also got like the one real good thing with that team is that who's gonna miss for Origin? It's gonna be Barnett and it's gonna be probably Connor Watson. Those are your only two that are gonna miss any game time during that Origin period, unless like injuries and all that. But yeah, I think that's a really important thing. That's one thing I took into account with the Tigers was like trying not to get too many Origin players, because consistency is probably the better thing to go for, especially if you're coming off a down year.
Yeah. Just time together, Ray. Time together is what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, no, I really like it. I'm a little worried about Egan, Watson, and Dylan Walker.
A lot of similar play styles, eh? Yeah.
But, hey man, Tohu coming off the bench. Damn.
Facts. And that's going to help, extend his career a little bit more, because he's not having to start. And like you said, when Origin comes around, Connor Watson and Mitchy Barnett are gone, then you bring in Tohu, start at the 13, and maybe Matt Croker starts at the 10. Yeah, and now you got some heavy bodies.
You got some big bodies.
Yeah, man.
You got some good ball runners.
Yeah, and they got a good, decent coach. So, man. Yeah. This I think this team, I'd give it B+, A- overall grade. I think it works well with what they've got. I don't think it's going to be too hard for them to, get the ball rolling. Like, it's not too many superstars, not enough ball kind of situation.
Yeah.
I think, it should work well. Just like you said, that kind of Watson, Wade Egan, Dylan Walker sitch. That's one that stops, in my opinion, going A+.
Yeah, it's tough to see a role in which those three actually like get on the field together, apart from like if somebody's having to cover in the halves or somebody's having to cover in like the centers. Like that's kind of the only way I see all three of those guys getting out there together.
So what could we do? What have we got? Let me just take a quick look at some of these teams around the league. Because, I mean, you've got Marcelo Montoya that he hasn't used, that he could probably package in a trade alongside Walker and send him to another team to pick up another player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do we... Because what do they need? Probably another prop? Nah, maybe a second rower.
I'd probably go a prop with them, because even though Mitch is a much better front rower, he can still cover the edge if needed.
Yeah.
And it's also if you get another middle, you somewhat cover for Tohu in case he gets injured or he needs a little bit of R&R.
Who is available?
It's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame Jackson Ford went.
Yeah, but I mean, you pick up a great player in Connor Watson as a replacement. I mean, Corey Horsburgh. Big Red.
Nah, because he's going to get salty. He's going to be like, why am I not starting?
Hey, man, prove your worth. Not that he'll ever be better than Mitchie Barnett.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing where I just don't see a way he cracks that lineup unless they start Barnett on an edge.
Yeah, but have him off the bench. That's big impact off the bench. Have him do short stints. Because I think that's where he works at the moment, man. He's not a starter.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play in so long. The last time I did see him play, he was throwing hooks. Wait, wasn't that against the Warriors?
Yeah. The under-20s. Oh, not the under-20s. Sorry, the deval squad.
Ooh. A few of those Warriors boys might have a few words for him coming in.
Oh, you know what? We could do it for who did you take? Did you take anyone from the Eels? You took what's his name? Me.
I took Junior.
Yeah. Well, they could take Regan.
Oh yeah.
Walker and who did I say? Marcelo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what they got? No Blaze Talangi. They got. They got no. What's his name? Mitchie Moses. They got a team full of randoms, you know.
They've definitely got a team full of randoms.
And I don't even think positional randoms either. I think they all are halves. Everyone that's been coming into this team is a half.
Who's there? Jaden Sullivan.
Yeah.
You got Ezra. You've got Sean O'Sullivan. Who else did I send them? Seyfarth.
Right. So like a lot of halves.
Yeah.
Gonna have to find a way to move those because they're not gonna have enough players to fill out forwards.
Dylan Walker.
Yeah, Dylan Walker gonna be starting prop. Makahisi Makato.
Holy. Ezra, can you play 9?
You know what? It'll make it a fun build, to be honest, with what they've got. So, yeah, we'll do that. Campbell Gillard, you're coming to New Zealand, buddy. Pack your bag.
Would you consider this? Actually, no, you probably wouldn't. I was just saying, so because Campbell Gillard's been linked to the Knights. Would you do Campbell Gillard and Leo comes to the Warriors?
Who replaces Leo at the Knights?
Regan Campbell Gillard. He's been linked to the Knights now. Just a way to get another Kiwi back in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I literally only thought about it because I was watching and I heard that he was linked to the Knights.
I only say no because, like, I don't rate him that highly.
Yeah.
You know? And Thompson's still got a lot to build. I mean, maybe they can take his brother from the Chiefs.
Tyrone.
Yeah. But for now, Campbell Gillard to the Warriors, to the Eels goes Ed Corsi, Marcelo Montoya, Dylan Walker. Who else can they have? And a bag of chips. They can take Stacey Jones.
No. The Kiwis have Stacey, man. The Kiwis got him.
Might go back to backing Tonga again. I have a bone to pick with his win record, which is, non-existent. Doesn't have the highest winning percentages. Okay, so now with Regan Campbell Gillard, I'll have to give it A- to an A. They got upgraded.
With Regan Campbell Gillard in there.
And he'll be off the bench too, so he doesn't have to play those big minutes.
D+. No, I can't hate on the Eels that much. I like it more than having Egan, having Connor Watson and Dylan Walker. I think it's another big body there. Fuck. If that forward pack gets on top of you, they just stay on top of you.
Oh, yeah. Especially if they pick up that Penrith style of defense where they just really get off that line real quick.
Yeah.
Like if what's his name, their coach can really get in and instill that into them, they can, definitely lay a strong platform that's just going to be suffocating.
And I imagine if that team gets a roll on, Metcalf's a dangerous runner out of halves. Jerome is a very dangerous runner. What was
like
that?
Hughes has a kicking game now. That's what I'm most impressed about this season is his kicking game. He hasn't just rested on the run game for himself this year. Like without Munster, he's really picked up that kicking game.
Yeah.
And, that just makes him a dual threat.
He's been so good. Jerome's been so good this year.
He has been so good. And speaking of how good he was, how good was Thursday night, man? Let's dive into round 24's recap, starting off with the Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Storm for a Thursday night banger. And we were not let down. Like, to be honest, a lot of games this weekend were really good, especially close finishes like this. Like you were on the edge of your seat for most of those games. Some of them were rubbish, but most of them you're like, damn, who's actually going to win this game? Like who wants it? This team needs to win. This team also has to win in order for XYZ to play out for them to either stay in the 8, stay in the 4, or sort of, put their hand up and say, I'm here. We're coming towards the 8. Lucky for you guys. It's just, it was a great round of footy. And it kicked off with a Thursday night banger. Penrith Panthers 22-24 to the Melbourne Storm, who walked away with the goodies at the end of that game. And shout out to not the Panthers, the Storm for holding on, Riddle me this, my friend. How can you knock out your own player and get 10 in the bin?
Do you want me to actually answer this?
Yeah.
Reputation.
But he's my player. I knocked him out. I barely touched the other player.
It's reputation. They see who you are. They see what's happened. You have to have done something.
Racism. They see the color of his skin, the color of the skin of the man lying down. He say criminal.
I mean, also not wrong.
He like an overfed Spaniard. Let's oj, bruh. Let's oj. Adley. Let's go, lad. Before I get too sidetracked. It was looking like the Panthers were going to ramp things up in that second half and really take home the victory. Because, Melbourne Storm had that lead going into the half, but, it wasn't dead in the water. The Panthers looked like they were gaining a bit of momentum, and then, boom, Cleary goes down early in the second half. His shoulder injury should see him return in the playoffs, which, if he remains healthy in that playoff run, he gets yet another break from footy. He's no slouch. He's a naturally gifted player. He just has that. Whatever that is, he has it. And so, when he comes back, he's going to be phenomenal. Let's just hope when he comes back, he can continue to play because, you don't want to see greats like that spending a lot of time on the sideline. It's not good for the game. It's not good for the teams. It's not good for his legacy. Not that he doesn't care about that, but it's just not good for him in the long run either. So I do hope he has a speedy recovery, and I hope he can spend a lot of this off season just recovering. Just get the body right for next year, and hopefully have a good go of it next year. But that injury definitely changed the trajectory of that game. You go into a game, you game plan for certain players, you game plan for having certain players on your team. And I know a lot about being unable to adapt to changes in a game because we have a coach that just doesn't know how to do it. So I understand that sometimes it could also be difficult. But another thing we did notice was that they have one really ball hungry centre. He's greedy as either runs out of room or just runs out of tackles. Still got on the try scoring board, but you feel for To'o. He's a phenomenal player, just being underutilized. I think he had 76 kick return meters and a total of 146 run meters. So he only made 70 meters with ball in hand that wasn't off of a kickoff. And that's probably what coming out of the own end after like someone's on second and he'll be scooping out a dummy and just trying to get some easy meters up the middle. So that's a worrying sign if you're a Panthers fan because when Taruva's playing, you've got Taruva, Edwards, and To'o, three of the biggest like kick return guys in the comp. You just know that's at least 20-30 meters right there minimum. Normally they can extend it and get a little more, but 30 meters minimum by third tackle, get your forwards to get you at least to the 50, and you can put in a competitive kick. That wasn't the case. For the Storm, they just have everyone that does the intangibles really well. Like your Jack Howarth, he might not show up on the scoreboard or on the stat sheet, but when you watch him on the field, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're not just watching individual players, if you just watch where the ball goes, you're never going to get a full scope of how good players really are. Players might end up in the stat sheet week after week, but you've got to look at their positioning play after play. You've got to look at how did they manage to make that tackle. You've got to see where they're lining up because that's when you can see the intelligence of a player. And look, Howarth has great sense of awareness, and we've been saying it all year too. And what does this kid have to do to get a start? Because we know how good he was in the Māori All Stars game at the start of the year, so we're just like, come on, let him just get a sniff. And unfortunately, some starters got injured, which opened the space for Howarth. And now he's been able to let it shine, and he's out and out one of my favorite centers in the comp right now. The game was sealed by Tyrone Wishart's score in the 60th minute. That kind of deflated the Panthers, and it's hard when you don't have Cleary on the side, and you've, like I said, you've game plan to have Cleary. When you're in those situations, where does the ball go? It goes to Cleary. All other players have to step up, but I'm not saying that they're just a team full of nobodies when Cleary's not there. They've shown all season they can get it done without him. I'm just saying, sometimes you just need cometh the man, cometh the hour, and he is the man, he is the hour, and he do be doing those things. So that's just my take on that game, bro. What was your overall breakdown from that one there?
Yeah, I thought it was a real good game. I thought when Melbourne went up early, I was like, oh, this could be really bad, just because I thought, like the Panthers have been pretty injury hit all season. They brought back Dylan Edwards, they brought back Fisher Harris. I thought, hey, maybe this is just a game where they're just not going to click, and it doesn't help that that's the Melbourne Storm that they're against. And then they scored what I thought was a pretty easy try. And I said in the group chat, man, bet the money on the Panthers. I said, bet the money on the Panthers. They're coming. And then I looked at the odds. Somehow they were losing. And they were still like $1.60 favorites to win the game. I thought it was outrageous. To me, this was a real weird game. Like, I didn't really feel like either side was totally in control for most of it. But yeah, I don't really know. I really struggled watching this game because I was like, this feels quite random, because the first half was quite messy.
Oh yeah,
very sloppy. Yeah, it was so sloppy, and so I didn't really feel like either side was in control of it, despite the score. And then come that second half, I was like, oh man, oh no, the Panthers are coming. The Panthers are coming, and if this game tidies up, like it's gonna be really tough. And then Cleary went down, and I feel like it kind of went to like panic stations almost, where like Penrith didn't really. I feel like most of the times when we've watched Penrith this year without Cleary, it's still like machine-like, where it's basically just like just do your role, just do your job, just keep getting there, keep getting there, keep getting there, and we'll find the way. And it didn't really feel like that's how it ended up playing out.
And was it a clinical match from either teammate? Like, you didn't feel like this was a potential grand final matchup?
If you had never seen a game before and you got told that was the grand final matchup, you'd be like,
yeah,
it's not that good.
It was, so many errors that just kept the door open for both teams. But I bet you, if either of those teams played another team this weekend, it would have been, 22-6, 22-4, 22-2 sort of scoreboard. But these two, they both want to run it up on each other and keep it real neck and neck. Which I'm kind of, it's shown. Well, I know the Panthers will get better and the Storm can get better.
Yeah.
But it showed me both these teams are beatable. Any given Sunday, they are beatable, which it should give a lot of hope to other teams in the comp. And, teams like the Roosters, like the Sharks. The Sharks are finding a bit of form late in the season. They did have a bit of a drop-off the past few weeks. They are finding ways to win. They haven't played outstanding teams, but they're finding ways to sort of cross the T's and dot the I's. The Bulldogs still continue to impress me, sadly. I so badly want to not like how they're doing this season, but I just can't help but be impressed by this team, eh? Yeah. Just the defensive effort. Like, they all play for one another. This is a team that, they could make the grand final. Because they're a team that do show up on any given Sunday. And all they've got to do is win 2 and they're in. They got to beat their round, then they play in another round to make the semis. I definitely think this team can make the semis. I don't think it's above them. They've still got a chance to make the 4. Slim, but they've got a chance. So yeah, like, no one's unbeatable, I think, in this top 8.
I mean, it's also tough because Alamoti's meant to be coming back, so that might bump old greedy, old greedy out of the team. Hopefully, but yeah, I mean, like, he's coming back. The Dogs, I don't know. They played the Dolphins. I felt like the Dolphins were pretty average. I thought they were pretty average when I was watching. So it's a little bit tough what to actually take from them. As, like, do I think they could do it? Because they also might be a team that just bullies teams that don't really show up on the day. But like their defense is legit.
Yeah, you can't help how the other team plays on the day, though. Yeah. If they don't show up, they don't show up. It's a yes on them. I just think I was really impressed by the way they, like, held our middles to fuck all, and the way they shifted their attack to the edges, which was our weak spot, and managed to, walk on in there for multiple tries. They just kept coming. We didn't make those defensive adjustments. So I think they've got that defense. I think they've got that heart, and I think they've got decent coaching to couple with all of that.
Yeah, it's just I have some real struggles with the Dogs, which is weird because a defensive team like that I should love. But I have some real concerns about their play, and more so what they could really do against the Penrith or against the Storm.
Yeah,
but it's probably.
Well, I mean, it's
probably
they
more
only
so
lost to the Storm by 2 points, I think it was, and they should have won. They just had a few penalties go against them.
Did they? Oh my god!
They were the better team on the night. But speaking about better teams on the night, heading over to 4 Pines Park City Friday evening, Manly Sea Eagles. They drenched the Warriors in points on that Friday night in a game that was, some would say, torrential. The website says ground conditions were good. I don't know if they watched the same game I saw, but it looked like a swamp. It was hammering down, and at halftime, it was locked in at 10-10. The Warriors again. We said this in the freaking pre-show, right? In the preview show, I talked about how the Warriors have a terrible knack of starting too late in the game. And by then, they have to claw their way back into the game to get the fight to even playing field. So Manly come out, they score first. The Warriors don't score until the 20th minute. And when they do, it's through Sean Johnson, the hero. Then the Seagulls pretty much answer straight back with a try of their own through the turbo. Then just before the half, Dal gets over for a try. It's 10-10 at halftime. Then the Warriors just sort of just showed up for a, like Ray Gun did. She just went to the Olympics for fun. They just showed up in Manly for fun. It's like, what do they got to do to make a change? Like, what? Your fans are selling out the stadium week after week. You know, they talk about the fortress of faith, and there are no fans more faithful than Warriors fans. They'll show up iara, 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 which means every day, every day, every day. They never falter. They don't jump in and off the bandwagon. They're all in all the time, 130%. They might, blame the ref, even though that was the right call. They might see a forward pass, even though it was flat at worst. They might feel hard done by, but we love them nonetheless. I think it's them, the Dolphins. They're the only two teams, maybe the Titans, that don't have a premiership. And the Warriors have been around since 95. They've had some legendary names, and they still, struggle to get it done. So it's sad to see the Warriors, as pathetic as they are, unable to beat Manly. It looked at halftime, I was like, surely not. Surely not. They even up their points this season with 2 draws. So instead of it being, 31 for Manly, they end up with that 32 points or whatever it is. But yeah, Manly come away with the chocolates there. It was an overall, it was a good game, I thought. It was worth the watch. But back to the drawing board, I think, for the Warriors. I think for this next couple of months, really work on your recruiting. Because, once, what is it, November? November,
November 1st.
Yeah, so whoever's in charge of recruitment, put that date in there, get, build up as much funds as you can from all these sold out home games. Maybe make some more money, stop changing the name of the stadium, and just send the house, man. Send the house. I've been playing a lot of college football. Follow them young blokes on their social medias, get to know them, fly them out, take them on a helicopter trip around Auckland, fly them up to the Sky Tower, do bungee jump, have dinner with them at the Sky Tower. Just do those kind of things, because that's going to be the difference maker. I think you are a few key players away from bouncing back. And yeah, you've been hard done by with injuries, but who hasn't? Can't complain about that. I think we all have this season. So yeah, hard luck to the Warriors. I think with that win, the Sea Eagles have come close to clinching that top 8 finish. I don't see them dropping too far below the Cowboys, Dragons, Dolphins. I don't think the Broncos make it, even though we're in 10th currently. That was because we had the bye round. Okay, Fano, don't get your hopes up. That was the bye round. We play this week, so might be as high as we get. Kapai, don't be disappointed. Be realistic. So yes, overall, I think good game from the Warriors. Solid game from the Seagulls. The Seagulls didn't show me that they can, crack semis. But if they are going to crack it in semis, you do need Luke Brooks to step up like he did last week. But I can't have him show up one game and, go missing for the next 10. You need consistent performances from him. Otherwise, yeah, I know why you're laughing. But otherwise, go to Super League, bro. You're just wasting everyone's time, man. We need consistency from you, brother. I want you on the show one day, so I'm not going to roast you too hard, but we just want to see some more consistency from you because you show brilliance. You show the potential that you actually have as a player. And then the next week we're left scratching our head going, how did he pull that off last week to leave us here? And, you know, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch too many Tigers games whilst he was there, but it is what it is. I know you have a lot to say, but we'll move right along. You give us the breakdown of the Allianz Stadium in Sydney. It was 38-14 to the Roosters over the Parramatta Eels.
Yeah. This game, they were saying beforehand, it only rained in Sydney for 10 minutes. The way that field looked, I don't know about 10 minutes.
Bro,
I don't know about 10 minutes. That field was enough to go for a swimming. That's all I'm saying. There was, I kid you not, there was a kick over the top. I think Dylan Brown was the one who got back to get it. He slid from at least the 5 meter line, maybe the 10 meter line, and just about ended up in the fence at the back. That's how far he slid. That's how wet it was. It was shocking. I've never seen a professional field, that bad. But yeah, big scoreline for the Roosters. I thought this would be either a really entertaining game or it was going to be a Rooster stomp. And then the moment I saw that field, I knew which one it was. I knew the Eels did not have a shot in this game. So yeah, so the Roosters putting on 38 points. I thought there were moments where they kind of let off the gas a little bit. And I really thought this was a game that was going to get to like 50. But this game, man, honestly, Teddy was a monster. Teddy was so good. Dom Young, what did he get? I think he got 3 in the end. Like, 2 of his tries I felt like were pretty easy tries to get over, but yeah. Daniel Tupou, kind of thought he might get a few more. I was hoping. I low-key had a bet on Dominic Young, Daniel Tupou, both to score hat-tricks.
Oh, wow.
Genuinely, that's how bad I thought they were going to go.
Fuck, that's shocking.
Yeah, but there were a few yellows in this game. Oh, 10 of the bins in this game. I thought there probably could have been a few more. there were some bad tackles on this one. Like, Wadamu Greg just straight shouldered Connor Watson in the head.
I've seen that.
And they're confused.
Bruh.
They're confused why he's off. He smacked him straight in the head. Oh, that one was a bad one. What was the other one? No, I can't remember. I can't remember what the other one was. God damn. But all in all, like, I felt like it was I don't know, there wasn't too much to this game. Like, it was kind of let down for what I thought the Eels like served up last week. Like, I was hoping it was really going to be that, but yeah, the moment I saw the weather, nah, there was not a chance in the world the Eels were going to be competitive.
But that's been the Eels this season, though. Up and down, up and down. They've just struggled to get anything going from the outset, and it's just that's just what we kind of come to expect from them.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Speaking of performances we've come to expect, a defensive effort holds the Dolphins to 10 versus the Bulldogs, who scored 30 at Salter Oval in Bundaberg. 6,000 people? The hell's the point of even showing up?
But I tell you, it didn't look good. It didn't look good watching it.
Yeah, I mean, where the hell is Bundaberg? Somewhere in Queensland, I'm assuming.
Yep.
It's probably in the boondocks somewhere anyway. Fano, get out there, man. Make it a trip. You know, I know you know, motorcycles, go for a cruise out to Bundaberg. I don't know, get a rum. Get a ginger beer. Fuck, I don't know, something. Go watch the game.
Yeah, you got to
support your teams. Fuck. Anyway, look, it kind of was business as usual for the Bulldogs. We getting accustomed to this. Like I said, finding myself becoming more and more impressed with this team as they continue to roll on. And also another reason why I said, they have the potential to make that grand final is because, as Tu alluded to, they make a grand final every year ending with 4. 2004 they win, 2014 they lose, 2024 do they win? And I think, what did he say, 1994 they lost? Something like that. So yeah, I was like, hey, did you even play in 94? Or are you just making it up out of these 3 years? So, because isn't 94 freaking, wasn't that the Raiders era? When they were on their greatness? Let me just have a quick Google. NRL winner. That would have been the old Winfield Cup, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's have a look. Oh, shit, they did play. They lost, but they played.
Who did they play?
That's a crazy stat then. So they do flip-flop every 4. And this is slated to win. Like, based off of history, right? This is a year they should win. I hope they go up against the Panthers and lose, and then they can beat wooden spooners. They can know what it feels like to be in the back going, give me my money. It'd be very, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, what do you, I don't know. We'll get back to this game shortly, but, like, what do you think teams need to do to, like, nerf this Panthers team? Because, like, they're almost going to run back to a 5th grand final and win 4 in a row.
I'll be honest, I'd look at their pathways. Like, who is coaching these players?
Facts.
Because clearly those people know what they're doing in terms of development. It's like clearly those people know what they're doing. They're developing them the right way. Because I can't believe these guys all go through the same training and then suddenly get a top 30 or a development contract, a train and trial contract at the Panthers, and then it's all Cleary teaching them this way. Like, it's got to be...
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be something they're doing in their development where, honestly, I would probably look and say, hey, how much you want to come over here and take some of our development? Because, like, yeah, I've got to believe it's more than just these guys are getting to the Tigers. Oh, these guys are getting to the Panthers, and then they're all being taught that in that team.
Yeah, like, they can't just be coming up ready-made athletes to play NRL. Like, you can't just be coming through the ranks, nobody, then all of a sudden you make the Panthers, like, top grade side, and then all of a sudden you're a superstar. Yeah. Nah, so yeah, you're right. It is their pathways.
I'm pretty sure their junior teams all do relatively well. Like, they're all relatively competitive.
Which I think is a smart move from the Warriors to poach Jet while they could.
Yeah.
However, it could backfire on them, and after his 3-year contract's up, he just goes back to Penrith, and now he's had first grade experience and a lot of it. Because I mean, who else is really there that could take that spot if he shows a lot of greatness? I think we could see Jet starting in a couple of years.
Well, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things is that when we didn't really touch on the Warriors is come the off season, Sean's retiring. Luke's not a 7. So who are they gonna go full time?
To Martin.
Yeah, are they gonna go full time with him there? I don't know if that's gonna get you where you need to be with the team they're gonna have. So there's gonna be a lot of looking around and how can we improve the 7 spot?
And I think it's gonna be with Jet. Like, if Jet is, half the player Nathan is or better, that's a hidden gem. It's a risk, right? It's a high risk, high reward play.
Yeah.
But you've got to make it. If you don't have your hand in the cup, then you are just gonna be like, damn, we missed it. We missed that boat, because theoretically, Cleary Nathan should be playing for the Warriors now. Ivan should be coaching the Warriors now. You know, they definitely pulled the trigger on him and his firing way too early. You know, they haven't made a grand final since. So that says enough, I think, about that decision. But yeah, back to this Bulldogs Dolphins game. Look, lots of positives from the Bulldogs. Huge positive from the Dolphins with the Hammers chase down. I'm calling that my play of the week. I enjoyed that play, really. The Fox was off for all money. Yes, he is still coming back from a hamstring injury, so he probably wasn't at, full stride. But, I love watching him get mowed down. I love watching fast players get done. It's just, what I could never do. So I love to see it. I love to see it, man. I love to see it.
That's a dark time, man.
Oh yeah, nothing worse than diving and you're like meters apart.
Bro, so that chase down, whilst not to the same level, it reminded me of a real dark time when it was like Benji was on the outer at the Tigers. He got an intercept against the Eels and got chased down by the second rower. But you can see Benji had like a 30-meter head start and got chased down by the second rower, and I was like, "Oh no, it's time."
Was that when he was benchy Marshall, or was this like later career Marshall?
No. So this was just before that. Just before he started getting like shifted between 6-7 and the bench. Like it was just before that, and I was like you could tell Benji was carrying a bit of extra weight at that time.
Yeah.
But seeing him get mowed down by a second row with that much of a head start was it was an eye opener.
Hey, talking about getting run down, let's talk about this Cowboys Raiders game. 42-4. Cowboys bounced back in a big way. What were your thoughts on this game, brother?
Just how wrong I was.
Both of us.
Wrong. I was adamant that the Raiders were going to have a really good shot on this because of the Ford pack.
Well, and the Cowboys got beat by my hopeless Broncos.
I'll be honest, I didn't even factor that in.
Like, how you get beat with Reese with a broken hand?
It's mystifying. This year and last year for the Cowboys, mystifying. I don't know what's happened. They had that outstanding run in 22. 23, they were disappointing. 24, they're good, they're bad, they're good, they're bad. That makes no sense to me. That roster, when fully healthy, is a great roster. But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch the game, I can't lie. I just had no interest in this game whatsoever. And I missed an absolute banger from Val.
Hey, it is what it is. Look, the Cowboys, I think this season are the definition of a film about Cowboys: the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think this game definitely showcases the good that this team can produce, but they are ugly and bad at times. And, the Raiders showcased a lot of that bad that we're accustomed to seeing with them this season. We thought, you and I both, that they could bounce back in a big way and, really push for a spot in the 8. But I think with this loss, that's all but sealed the deal for them not making the 8. They can jump on the bus with you and me. It's all good fun. We've got some card games we can play. Two's not there to gaslight us when we're playing Mafia, so it's all good. It'll be fun. I promise.
No, I wouldn't say what I was going to say.
We'll save it for when it comes in. But yeah, look, I didn't watch it. I was watching some bangers between Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys at this stage. Luke Humphreys came back from a 2-6 deficit to win 7-6 against Luke Littler. Luke Littler, all he had to do was win one more leg, and that was GG's in the chat. Humphreys, man, for just some unknown reason, just all of a sudden was like, Karoha, my bro. Boom. And then just, man, he was hitting, bro. And it was amazing.
Do you think it was potentially the pressure's off? It's kind of like,
once you're like 6'2", 8,
once you're like 6'2", you're like, it's chalk. It's chalk. We just throw now.
Lights out, right? It's lights out. And then, yeah, he won 4 back-to-back legs to win. Well, no, 5. Yeah.
5, yeah. Oh.
That's crazy. But what got me is, we'll get back to the regularly scheduled program very shortly, but Damon Heta and Luke Humphreys in the final. So Damon Heta, up until the final, he was checking out everything. One dart, like just his bang, confident hitting those finishes. Came up against Luke Humphreys in the final, and it almost looked as if he didn't know how to finish again. He just, looked discombobulated out there. He looked frazzled, which sucked because, I quite like the character that Damon Heta can be at times. And, he's through and through Australian, but whakapapa Māori, so I always back Damon Heta whenever I can. And, he loves New Zealand. And he said in his post-game interview that, when it's all said and done, he's going to look to retire here and, try and up the game of darts here in Aotearoa. So, hey, man, get him behind Damon Heta. Just because he's a Mozzie doesn't mean he's not whānau. So, get him behind him when you watch him on the big stage, because most of our Kiwi boys don't get that far in those big comps. So, when you're watching the World Darts Finals at the end of the year over the Christmas period, because there ain't nothing else to watch. I know you're not watching cricket. And it doesn't compete with the NBA schedule, so you can watch a bit of darts here and there, man. It's on for most of the days of the week over that Christmas period, so go check it out. Go back, Hopai Puha, Big Rig Ben Rob, go back, Damon Heta, and then, whoever your favourite dart players are, like Luke Humphreys, Luke Littler, Michael Smith, Tamir. But yeah, 1 year I'll get out there and, I was talking to my cousin. I'll get back to this. But I was like, bro, it would be crack up if we all went as like cancelled people, like cancelled influencers. That would be hilarious. Like rock up as like, what's his name? Chris from Mr. Beast, or Dr. Disrespect, or what's that one? Epstein and shit like that. Just rock up as just fucked guts. You know what I mean?
We're not getting in the door.
It would be because it's New Zealand. They don't know about that. It's once we get on TV and we're hanging out at a table together of just everyone will be like, "Hey, is that Dr. next to Ava, next to Epstein, next to that other one? What's his name? The director. What's the director that touched everyone?
Oh, the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah, see, next to him and next to
another
one.
But
yeah. See. That would be hilarious. Just coming as cancelled people. Logan Paul with the Japanese hat, the Toy Story one. Go Japan, Logan Paul.
Have you seen his all the recent clips with him in the
Dominic
WWEs?
Mysterio?
Bro, so because he's done a few WWE ones, and because they just did the tour of Japan, he told them, "Oh, Japan, you ever been?" And
Dominic is the best heel ever, man.
It's Dominic, and then
he was like, "You ever been?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I've been." He's like, "Are you allowed back or nah?"
There was I think it's Cody Rhodes or whatever he is now. He was on there, and they said something about Japan, and
Mike?
Logan's the other guy who does it with him,
Mike.
Yeah, he was like, Logan can't go there. just like out of the blue way. And I don't know if it's a thing where like he actually doesn't know, but it kind of looked like he didn't know.
Nah, he does that because like he's like a bad guy in WWE. Yeah. So that he was just playing it up, and then he's like, "You should wear the hat."
I've been cracking up with it, especially because like I didn't know at the time, because I never knew which Paul brother was which. It was legit just like
they all one and the same, one blonde.
Yeah. But yeah, and then so I found out about the Japan thing after he partnered with JJ for prime. And I was like having a little look back at it, and I was like, oh, this dude is just fucked, huh?
Big
This
facts.
is just one place that drink's never going to take off.
Big facts. Big facts. Speaking about games that never really take off, the Tigers and the Bunnies.
That's unreal. That's so sad.
I'll hand that over to you, brother, in Campbelltown Sports Stadium in Sydney. Give us your breakdown of this game, brother.
Hey, if you guys listen, I told you the Tigers were getting up. I told you the Tigers had a win coming.
That was outrageous.
Hey, I just, it's kind of what I said. Not a lot of defense, not a lot of attack. When I look at a team and I see, hey, I don't think you guys can score 20 points, I feel like we have a pretty good chance to win. And boy, is that what happened. The final score was 18-16. Honestly, from watching it from the outset, it kind of looked like the Tigers were really up for the game. I was really disappointed with, obviously, Buller being out injured. I feel like we had a chance to really smoke them had Buller been there. But man, coming out of this game, all I can say is Cam Murray. Cam Murray was by far the best player on the field, and I feel so sorry for him. I feel so sorry for him. And
That's why he's moved on in the fantasy world, G. He plays for the Knights now.
He's moved on in real life too. He's moved on to the off season.
You know what I hate about Cam Murray though, man? How could you be so handsome and so good at rugby league?
Bro, and it's also he's a dog. He is a dog out there.
Bruh. And then some.
To be a pretty boy, a dog, and really good, like god damn it. It's unfair. But
is he also like pretty clean too? Like I don't think I've heard a scandal about him ever.
Nah, man. I'm telling you, he's the picture perfect. If there wasn't Cleary, it would probably be him who's like the pin-up boy for league.
For our American listeners, Cam Murray would be like our equivalent of an All-American. Like he is that guy.
All-American, yeah, nah. This game, man, I don't know. It was a dud game. I can't lie. Galvin looked really good. Like, one thing I really enjoyed about this game was Galvin got the ball early, and he was just looking to run. He was just looking to try and run over the top of everyone. It didn't happen, but he was looking to run. And then he got his opportunities to basically just spread the ball. And he had 2 try assists. One of them, granted, came when they had a man off the field, which was fair. He hit him high, and he hit him pretty flush across the chin. So I feel like that one was always going to go. But other than that, I don't know. The game was a dud, man. We missed 57 tackles. 56 tackles.
Yeah.
It was just a game where genuinely, like I said, there was no attack and the defense wasn't good. It was such a bad game to watch, and I watched all of it. I watched all of it just because I knew we were winning. I knew we were winning.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever watched your house on fire, this is the equivalent. You're excited to see who comes out alive, but you don't really care anymore because it's burning.
You know, I could have seen not come out alive with that fire. The ref in the bunker. Both of them.
Let me take a quick look.
I think it was Badger, right?
Peter Gohu. Peter Gohu.
Wait, what?
Go.
That's is that who the bunker was?
Yeah, Peter Gohu.
Yeah, I don't know. That main ref though? Please.
Belinda Sharp.
Yeah, that one. She's reffed another one of the Tigers games, and I was like, oh, you might be the worst ref I've ever seen.
Nope. Definitely isn't. Definitely isn't.
Definitely isn't.
Regular listeners know who I'm talking about, and we don't bring her up anymore. She doesn't get airtime. No free promo. And you know what's funny is ever since like my second rant about her, so many other people have ranted. She's relegated now to only being in the bunker and NRLW games. Poor ladies.
Well, she's also married to someone at the at
Yeah,
Souths, right?
her husband used to be a ref.
And
Gavin Badger.
now works with the Rabbits.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was dog shit whoever the ref is. She's so bad.
Yeah, man. But hey, I still don't think this ref was the worst ref of the night. But we'll get there. That comes after this game. This game is the first game on Sunday. Wollongong Stadium. This is what I like to call a hangover game. These are just Sundays. They call it Sunday roast. We call it Sunday hangover. At Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. I really want to go here one day. It just looks like a nice stadium because the beach is right there. Whenever they pan out, you see the beach. I'd love to go here one day. Maybe one year when the practice run goes to State of Origin, we can go to a Dragons game that weekend. I know 2 won't be about it, but I don't give a fuck who's playing, man. It's just, I want to go to this cool venue. It looks nice, man. Dragons, send us over, please. We'll put us up in a hotel. Let us come, interview the players. Tyler King, please, get us over there. Please, sis. Look, man, this game didn't... Like, the final score, I think, doesn't really showcase the impact this game really was. And like we said about Jack Howarth in the Melbourne game, you know, it might not be the flashiest on the stat line, but they do the intangibles. And, you know, I think the Titans did a lot of that. It was just the Dragons' attack early in that first half really set the tone for how that game was going to play out. It looked like the Titans were going to, you know, sort of run away with it when they got their try in the first minute through Jojo Fafita, but then the Dragons bounced back through Tuipulotu and then Hunt, and then a little bit longer, and then Lomax scores his try. God, needed that for fantasy. But, you know, that's the Dragons. And then they hit back 2 consecutive tries before the half through Couchman and Leilua. And Leilua was close to scoring a try before that, but just couldn't hold on to the ball. So, you know, he had a really good night that night, actually. I was quite impressed from Joey. And Couchman. Kapai Couchman. Just... don't know who you were, but you made an impression on me after that game. And I think, you know, when you've put yourself behind 26-6 at the half, it's always going to be a huge mountain to climb in that second half. You know, tired bodies going out there. Now you're playing against the clock. It's like a time trial almost. And you've got to come out and score really quickly. And that's what Jaden Campbell did. And I was like, oh, okay. Tigers got some momentum here. See how well that plays out. And then, you know, lots back and forth, lots of turnovers. Jojo Fafita scores in the 64th minute, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, cool, they can get there or thereabouts, and then nothing really from the Titans. They had some attack, but for the most part, the Dragons regained that momentum, and then you see Francis Buller scoring there as well to really seal the game up. But like to identify a couple of weeks ago, the Dragons have been on this win one, lose one streak for a while now, which means this weekend they're most likely going to lose. So Sharks get the win before you even can, you know, get to the preview show on Thursday. We're just going to chalk the Dragons up to a loss this weekend, Kairoha Dragons fans. But yeah, that's just the way that game played out in Sydney. Heading over to the final game of the weekend in Sydney, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks hosted the Newcastle Knights with a final score of 19-18 in a game that was stolen, some would say, from the Knights and given to the Sharks. But I'll let you get into that one there, Brother Sam. Give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Early, I thought the Sharks were just gonna pump them. You know, Daniel Atkinson came off that, what was it, his right foot, I think. Right foot went straight through, scored next to the post. few minutes later, put in a kick, and then Nicola got over. I was like, oh man, this is done early for the Knights. This is done early for the Knights, and then yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really know what happened. It just kind of felt like they took their foot off the gas, and then the Knights came back in it. Kai Paul got over in the 20th minute. Greg Marju, he like that pass from Kalen. Wait, was it Kalen that threw the pass?
That kind of rainbow pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it? I can't remember who it was, but it was a beautiful pass.
It was unreal. But I say Kalen because it's the Knights, and I think it was Kalen.
Yeah, because it couldn't have been Gamble.
I promise you it wasn't. Tyson Gamble. Broncos legend, Tyson Gamble.
Can I just say, though, one thing about this Knights team that just confuses the shit out of me is when you've got Ponga setting up on that left side, why shift it right?
The Knights have been to be fair, the Knights have not only done that this year, they did that a lot last year when he was there. He would be set on the side.
Play, or you just ran it to the pro?
I don't know. Part of me wonders, is it like their halves? Where like they don't have that dominant half, so it's kind of we'll go this way.
And I guess that's why they tried that experiment with Ponga at 6, right? They try to get him more involved in the game that way because the halves weren't getting him the ball sometimes. Look, yeah, I don't know. It's Newcastle things.
Yeah, I don't know. Adam and Brian G, you might not be long for there. You've been there long enough, and
do you want Kevin?
Hey, you're their GM. Do they want Kevin?
I'm shipping them around. Nah, probably not. To be honest, if any of the teams I've rebuilt have a chance of winning, it's probably my Newcastle Knights that I built.
Nah. Look at what's your Broncos, man? Mitchie Moses? Billy Walters?
That's the 6 and the coach.
Yeah. Well, you don't like Walters squared?
Neither comment nor confirm or deny. Okay, look, we need people to come on the show and share their brilliance with us.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After that Marju try, I stopped watching. I had to go do something else. So,
look, I watched to the end. The Knights were robbed because there were Sharks players offside. Should have been a penalty to the Knights when Ponga slotted it right down the middle. The ref missed it. Gifted the Sharks the ball. The Sharks walked down the field. They had a similar thing. Someone was offside there, so then they went to Golden Point, and then the Sharks just managed to get the ball down there and slot it from right in front. And that was how the cookie crumbled against the Knights. I guess we could say the empire has fallen.
Just another blunder for the refs, huh?
Another blunder. Look, it's just been that. It's been that way for this whole year, and we'll probably get into that more in depth. I think we should save all of that for our NRL 2024 season review. We'll do a review on everything after that grand final. Maybe the episode after the grand final episode, we'll do just a breakdown on how the season went. We'll critique players, coaches, refs, general managers. We'll give you guys our team of the year. It'll have mine, Two's, and Sam's team of the year. So do make sure to stick around and check that out. But speaking of team of the year, let's check out the team of the week for round 2024. Do you want to do the forwards? I'll do the backs.
Gotcha.
Easy. Sweet as. So I'll start us off. All right. So coming in at fullback of the week for round 2024, we've got the James Rawiri's not the biggest fan of Tedesco. Everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan. However, this season I've come to appreciate his talent just because he wasn't named in the New South Wales team outright. He was named as a replacement, and I've kind of gotten an appreciation for Tedesco. And I think, to be honest, not being named this season has helped Tedesco's performance just because he's 100% committed to club. He hasn't had to go and play Origin games. He hasn't actually dealt with as much scrutiny or backlash because he hasn't been in that squad. So shout out James. On the wings, we've got Jacob Kiraz and Dominic Young. In the centres, we've got Val Holmes and Jack Howarth, and our halves are Lachlan Galvin and Jake Clifford.
In the forwards, we've got Oregon Kafusi, and we've got Josh Curran. We've got Josh Curran in it. They're the front row with 9. 9 was a very tough one to pick, but the nod's gone to Little. I felt like McInnes probably had a pretty good shout for it, but based on what everyone's kind of said about Little's game on the weekend, he probably gets the nod there.
He balled out.
Yeah, I had his stats then. I took them away. But it was so bad. On the edges, I must admit, I did cheat. I put Cam Murray there, but then, we had a little chat, and so I moved Murray back to 13. On the edges, I've got Lindsay Smith and Ali Katoa from the Storm. I thought they were both really good. I thought Lindsay Smith probably had the better game, but Katoa was still pretty good, himself. And then 13, we've got Cam Murray. That's a tough blow. Cam might have been on the losing team, but he was by far the best player. He's by far the best player on the field. And it's a bit of a tough luck to Isaiah Yeo, because I thought he probably deserved to make the team, even though they lost. I was really impressed with his game, but yeah. So that's our team of the week.
Nice. That's a great team of the week too. And we're edging closer now to the end of the season. So we're going to start tallying up all of these team of the week points and seeing who makes our team of the year, the practice runs team of the year, based off of their team of the week points. And then we'll check out just our individual opinions of who makes each person's team of the year. So be sure to tune in for that one at the end of the season, Ita Iwi. But let's check out the practice runs power rankings. I forgot to give us a fake sponsor. Brought to you by Quadlock. Quadlock has USB weatherproof wireless charger. So if you have a motorcycle, a bicycle, or any kind of cycle, get yourself a USB weatherproof wireless charger, and it clips onto whatever Quadlock component that you currently have, and then you can wirelessly charge your devices. It is compatible with the Quadlock case, so it just clips on there. It is fast charging too, so I can get half a battery from my 20-minute ride from my house to work. So shout out to Quadlock for not actually sponsoring this video. We're still looking for a sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. So, that was a pitch. If you ever want to jump on and support these brothers doing what we do, then be sure to give us a shout out. We can make sure that we tailor the script to how best suits your brand, your business, and your vision. So just get in contact with us at 99dreams.co.nz. Hit up the emails provided there on the website. Sure. Over to the practice runs power ranking. Should we go top to bottom this time? Because we've got a few movers and shakers around the league. So moving up one spot from last week, Melbourne Storm reclaimed their throne as the kings of the power ranking after their victory over Penrith Panthers, who dropped down into second place. Sydney Roosters are just holding on there at third place, just maintaining that consistency that we've come to know from the Sydney Roosters. The Bulldogs have moved into fourth and kind of set up shop there. The Seagulls have set up shop in fifth place. Holding on to that sixth spot for 2 weeks in a row now are the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Then we've got moving up one spot are your North Queensland Cowgirls. Dropping down one spot is the Redcliffe Dolphins. Jumping from 12th into 9th is the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Dropping from 9th into 10th place, we have the Gold Coast Titans. Because we had the bye this week, your Broncos hold on to that 11th spot. Then we've got down 2 places this week, the Canberra Raiders. Just below them in 13th, up one spot from the previous week, we've got Newcastle Knights. Now, I know even though they lost, they still moved up because they were robbed. They were robbed. Down from 13th into 14th, we have the New Zealand Warriors. Then we've got South Sydney Rabbitohs holding on to 15th place, even though they lost. And the Tigers move up one spot, which means this week's trash team are your gutter Eels. All right. And that wraps up your power rankings. Be sure to tune in again next Tuesday to see who moves up and who moves down. But before we get to Tuesday, don't forget to come back on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday night. Well, Thursday afternoon for us, Wednesday night if you're in America or somewhere else in the world. I need to figure out the time zone so I can see who's where, what doing. But yeah, look, thank you so much for sticking around for our episode today. I'm going to throw it to Sam for any last words, and then I'll close out the show with an outro. I think I've got one. This week. I still am terrible at this, and when Two comes back, he is getting the job back. There's no doubt about it. But in the interim, you've got me.
Yeah, we rate it. We rate it as long as it's not me, because it's gonna be terrible if it's me. Yeah, nah. Cheers for listening.
Jesus.
That's
You're
all
gonna do
we've
better
got.
than that. Come on, man.
We've got.
Thank our fans near and far.
Nah, yeah. Cheers for listening, near and far fans. No. What do you say? We've got fans from Russia. We got fans from China.
Yep.
The local fans, yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Australia, America, Canada. We still haven't got our Puerto Rican fans or our Dominican fans, but I'm working on it. I'm wearing a baseball jersey. I'm working on it.
Baseball jersey.
You know, they love baseball and tacos. I'm generalizing here. I'm sorry.
The stereotyping is mad, but yeah. Nah. Thank you to everyone who listens. Hey man, you guys got any comments for us? You know, jump on the YouTube. We've been looking. We've got what?
Yeah, should we actually read out the comment from the last video that we got?
Yeah.
I'll read it out. I'm terrible at the gambles. You know what I mean? Where's that comment? How do I get there? I just have to go to it on YouTube.
Yeah, I read it. I kind of knew what he was on about.
Okay. So, he says, this is from, fuck off. This is from Patrol Boat 73. I see that both of you tipped Melbourne 13 plus, while that also decimated my line bet when Storm took their foot off the gas for the final 35 minutes. So pick your own line betting is tricky when you have a class side having a dirty result against the trend of most people thinking 13 plus morals. Now, I don't bet line bet. I bet try scorer. That's all I bet. And I do Hail Marys. 2 bets. The other things. I don't understand the other things. But what Matsua says here, I agree with.
I mean, yeah, I look at it, right? So I threw out the line bets in last week's one just because I was I don't really bet line. I bet more try scorer just because, I feel like that one's a lot more predictable, as we found out. I think last week, for last week's games, we bet Warriors minus 11.5, which basically plus 11.5. So basically they just had to not lose by 12 or more. That penalty at the very end of the game, so rude. So rude. They kicked that. They went. They put them up by 14. I am one of my personal bets. I bet the Roosters minus 9.5. So the Roosters had to win by 10 or more. That hit, but
is that what those things mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of I dabble a little bit in it. What was that?
What are the pluses? Is there pluses or just all minus?
Yeah, so the plus ones are basically they have to lose within those odds. So like, for example, I said on the pod last week, Warriors plus 11.5, which meant they just had to lose by 11 or less, or if they win, it still hits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when they lost by 14, a little dirty.
Maybe that's something we look at talking more about in the off season. I think me and Tu need to upskill a little bit in that space. I mean, I need to. I'm what 35-0.
Jesus.
Like, I got like a college record against like freaking SEC teams, man.
It's just not good, eh? Oh my
Nah,
god.
it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I
I'm
got
throwing
crushed
out
this weekend.
throwing out all this American slang for our American listeners so they can feel, like it correlates a little bit easier.
Our American fans are going to hear our betting odds and be like, what?
Oh, yeah, probably. I have no idea either, to be honest. I'm with you guys. I was on hot dogs and brisket.
I jumped on an American betting site because I just wanted to like have a look. And for their odds, I was like, what is going on here? it's so different to ours. Theirs are like plus 1,400. And like over here, it's like, if you bet this, basically you get $1.25 back for every dollar you bet.
Well, anyway, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic. Let's
are.
bring it on back. All right. Sam said his piece. Now it's my turn. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your time. If you're still listening, we appreciate you. We'd appreciate you a little bit more. Not that we don't appreciate you any less, but we'd really, really appreciate it if you were able to comment, subscribe, like, hit the bell notification so you know when we're posting new episodes, and share it with your friends. Just let them know about us. Even if this is like a guilty pleasure and you actually don't really like listening to us, please share it. Like, man, they might be that link that we need to be sponsored by Kraft Peanut Butter. We could have peanut butter on the show. We could be linked to Levi's, and maybe we're promoting Levi's denim jeans on the show. Just those little things, ladies and gentlemen. Just these things that can help get our dreams off the ground and into reality. Because I guarantee it, if we had some funding behind us, like more than the actual overheads, man, we'd be able to bring out some hella cool content. I'd even put a bit more time into the editing. But I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. Okay, the time of night that I'm editing these videos is unrealistic. But anyway, thank you all so much for your time, the energy that you spend on listening to our show. It makes us better. It makes us come back happier every week. So thank you all so much. Thank you for helping us stay consistent, for holding us accountable. Reach out, chat away in the chat boxes below. Remember, if you're going through anything, reach out to your friends, to your whānau, to us. We're more than happy to help wherever we can. But until next time, see you later. It's time to say goodbye. See you later. I've really got to fly. So see you later. I've really had some fun. So see you later. I've really got to run. Ka kite.